I am in Atlanta, Georgia at the 57th Fighter Group restaurant. It is a one-of-a-kind World War II themed restaurant at the Peachtree DeKalb Airport on the north side of Atlanta. This active restaurant is a unique memorial to a World War II 9th Air Force Squadron, so let's check it out. Out by the main road, there are several antique rundown military vehicles. After driving a ways down this driveway, one reaches a checkpoint to get to the restaurant. No, it is not manned. So here is the 57th Fighter Group restaurant, housed inside a big war-damaged Normandy farmhouse. This is going to be an interesting place. It does kind of look like an active war zone outside, with this howitzer behind the sandbags along with plenty more trucks and jeeps. The marred farmhouse wall is lined with barbed wire, likely because there is an active runway right behind it. There is an old P-51 Mustang outside. Believe it or not, this restaurant was loosely a part of an old chain of high-end eateries that were based on different World War II and World War I Army Air Force units, which were usually built at local airports. Most restaurants were set in a damaged northern French farmhouse. The entryway is lined floor to ceiling with sandbags. I have not been able to find much information on the history of these restaurants. I believe most of them were opened in the 1970s and 80s as an early example of themed dining experiences. They were likely intended to attract private pilots who would fly into small executive airports for a few hours, have a meal, then fly out. The overwhelming majority of these places have closed down. I believe there are only 3 left in operation, so I'll mention all the fallen restaurants that I could find. A 91st Bomb Group restaurant in Memphis, Tennessee had its own Memphis Belle replica, but that place has been gone since the early 80s. There was a 391st Bomb Group restaurant in West Palm Beach, Florida that closed in 2006. The 56th Fighter Group of Farmingdale, New York on Long Island shuttered in 2012. The 100th Bomb Group restaurant in Cleveland, Ohio closed after the 2020 pandemic. The structure still stands and houses a different restaurant called the Aviator, but it got de-themed. How lame. It appears that the most common style was the 94th Aero Squadron restaurant, which had several similar locations across the country. The 94th Aero Squadrons are set during World War I, but one closed in St. Louis, Missouri around 2003. A location recently closed in 2022 at the Van Nuys, California airport. And sadly another closed in Columbus, Ohio in 2023. I had been close to that on numerous occasions but never stopped, so that's a real bummer. However, a 94th Aero Squadron restaurant is still in operation in San Diego, California, and there's another one in Miami, Florida. So as far as I can tell, there are only 3 of these remaining, and it's a rapidly dying breed of themed restaurants. The restaurant is right along the runway of the Peachtree DeKalb Airport, and was designed with big windows for viewing the planes taking off and coming in. It's worth getting a window table here to watch the planes coming and going. The large fireplaces definitely contribute to the ambiance, along with all the little pockets and touches of theming throughout the public areas. It is a level of detail and immersion you might see put into a Disney theme park restaurant, but it's here at some random little airport in Atlanta. The walls are lined with vintage photographs from the war. It does kind of feel like the 1940s in here. There's a portrait of Sir Winston Churchill. Most of these photographs are specific to the 57th Fighter Group. That's an amazing photograph of one of their crafts flying over the pyramids of Giza. There are lots of photographs, postcards, and other mementos in this passageway. The 57th Fighter Group was established in January of 1941 and soon became part of the Army Air Corps' Northeast Defense Sector in New York. After the US entered the war, the fighter group was sent with the Army to Egypt, armed with 72 new P-40Fs. In North Africa, they often escorted and supported RAF dive bombing missions, and participated in the Battle of El Alamein, in which the Axis powers were decisively defeated, permanently turning the tide of the North Africa campaign. The 57th received a Distinguished Unit Citation for the 1942 battle, then destroyed 74 enemy crafts over the Gulf of Tunis in April of 1943, earning another citation and breaking the Nazis' aerial supply line to Tunisia. That's a souvenir rug they picked up in Egypt. They were active in the push through Sicily and Italy, and in 1944 they switched over to P-47 Thunderbolts as they continued fighting in Italy. That's an aerial shot of Pisa. They got another Distinguished Unit Citation during the April 1944 battle around Florence, and continued to support operations in northern Italy until VE Day, after which the 57th was officially demobilized. That is a thank you note sent to the members of the 57th by British General Bernard Montgomery for their support of his 8th Army in North Africa. I love this nose art of the Georgia girl. Not sure if it's authentic from the war or not. Even the bathrooms are lined with sandbags. The theming really is quite good in this Normandy farmhouse. This restaurant, and I assume the others, are on the pricey side, so that may explain why this place is practically empty besides one other group. Given how costly the food was here, it was not all that great. I cannot believe I'm saying that about a steak. I do not like to complain a lot in these videos, but I had never seen a steak with so much gristle and it just wasn't a very good piece of meat. I am really glad that I got to see this rare restaurant. I enjoyed the theming and learning about the 57th Fighter Group. As mentioned, most locations of this genre have closed down, so if you're in Atlanta, come check it out. Hopefully it can stay open and continue honoring the legacy of the 57th Fighter Group. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, then please check out my other content featuring military historic sites, and all sorts of random stuff not just here in Georgia, but all around the United States of America and Europe. Additionally, please click the like button, also share this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps out a ton. Thank you for watching.